Seth Painter here with the Panagora Pharma Customer Experience Chatcast. Panagora known primarily for live events, chatting with all your favorite pharma folks. Joining us is JoEllyn Cook from Photocure. Say hi, JoEllyn.
Hello, Seth.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, I am currently the head of U.S. marketing at Photocure, and we are responsible for working in the uro-oncology space, specifically in non-muscle invasive bladder cancer.
Ooh, you're going to have to explain that a little bit later. Uh, do you have a disclaimer for us?
Only that the opinions I express are my own and are no reflection of any opinion of the company.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. JoEllyn, in a broad sense, what does customer experience mean to you?
Customer experience has always driven everything I do in a way that means don't tell people what you want to tell them what they want to hear. And so it's always challenging yourself and others to put the customer's perspective first to communicate what you need to communicate.
And that doesn't always happen, but certainly is a good underlying philosophy for everything that you do. So, more specifically, how does customer experience layer on to what you guys do at Photocure?
So if I or other professional communicators weren't sitting in a marketing role, the materials and information and messages that would go from sales to, let's say, healthcare professionals, most likely would be very um, photocure driven. And so, what we do in communications and marketing is to help find the best way to help photocure say what it needs to say in a way that our audiences will want to hear it and respond to having heard it. And so we craft the messages and we work with all of our sales folks and anyone else who's interacting with our customers to just try to remind everyone to put yourself in their shoes first and speak from that perspective. The
So,
truth is, we care about our customers, we care about our patients, so just remember that in everything you do.
so, whose shoes are we talking about here? Tell me a little bit about the therapeutic area, the way that works, and then who exactly is your customer?
So, for the most part, we are talking about uro-oncologists who will be the champions for our product and the users of our product. Our product is a pharmaceutical optical imaging agent that it gets reconstituted and instilled into bladders before a procedure happens. And in order for the procedure to happen, the treatment facility has to have specific special blue light equipment. So it is first a capital equipment purchase and then a pharmaceutical purchase. So our sales reps partner with the equipment salespeople to sell in the need for this technology. And then once the equipment is purchased, our folks are right there hand in hand with everybody in an account to make sure that the product is used properly and that the right patients are getting the right treatment.
That sounds kind of complicated.
It's
So
very
then who actually becomes your customer? Whose experience are you concerned about when you are, marketing the product? Because there seems to be a lot of moving parts, as they say.
Yes, and that's another element of customer experience. There isn't just one customer. Everything we do is tailored for every customer along the whole purchase path and treatment path. So we do get involved in having a doctor champion our product, and then we work with a doctor. So first, the doctor who's going to be our champion is the audience, the first audience. So we have to convince them of the efficacy and the value and the patient value in order for them to endorse the product and help shepherd the process for capital equipment. And then it's every decision maker in the capital equipment process. And each of their motivations and perspectives is different than the other. So now you can't just give them the doctor position and have them agree to a purchase. So we have to tailor everything to the audience and hit on their hot buttons and explain what they need to hear to be able to move to the next step. And so finally, once you do get the equipment purchased, you have a whole new level of stakeholders who are the nurses and support staff who have to reconstitute and instill our product. They are the front line with the patient and the patient care. You have the doctors who do the procedures, oftentimes residents as well, who are being trained on how to do it. And then you have people like the scheduler who has to let us know that a blue light with Cysview has been scheduled so that our team can get in there and make sure that that the doctor has the support that they need. And every single person comes from a different perspective. And that is why it can't be just, this is what Photocure needs to say, because not one of those people will listen to what Photocure has to say.
No, exactly, and I think that's a great example of the ecosystem that you need to navigate in order to ensure an excellent customer experience. So, where's the patient fit into all this?
Yeah, the patient is really important because of two things. One, it's a relatively new technology in the sense of being available in the United States. It's been approved and used worldwide for a decade or more. But in the US, it's only recently been accepted in enough locations that we could start to give it attention, right? Before we really put resources behind it and started to expand our footprint, we did have a slim footprint, and people who learned about it would fly throughout the country to get it, because it's that important. What it does is our product makes bladder cancer glow bright pink when you shine the blue light on it, and therefore the doctor can see the cancer better and remove it better. And so it's not a replacement for random biopsies by any means, but it is right now the best optical option available to bladder cancer patients. And so if they learn about it, they want to know more about it and often want to get it. And so we have the opportunity to help bladder cancer patients know about it. And when we educate them on it, the next logical step is find out whether your doctor has it or someone else nearby has it. So those are pretty much the patient experiences that we're crafting, but also that for them to just be advocates for their own care and make sure that whatever is being done because it's meeting the standard guidelines, more so than it's because of what equipment is available at a particular institution.
So, I see that there might be an experience issue with the patients if they say, well, I don't want to fly to Chicago to do that, or I don't want to travel, 2-hour drive to get that done. But is that part of mitigating the patient experience in terms of that type of a hassle to be able to get cutting edge therapy?
Well, I think that's why we, as a company, waited to do patient promotion until we had a large enough footprint throughout the country that most people don't have to fly anywhere anymore. They can reasonably travel locally enough to get to a center. But the more convenient it is, the more people will get it, and that's why we continue to try to have more institutions offer.
Sounds like a good strategy. You have many, many, many years of digital marketing experience and probably was able to see the evolution of that from its inception. And much has been made of digital over the last few years, as well as customer experience. In this day and age, is customer experience digital? Is digital customer experience? Can the two be separated? Should they be separated?
Well, you're right. I've been in the business since the beginning of DTC and internet marketing, coming up on 25 years real soon. And I do remember my earliest days before all of the internet capability, because I remember, dipping my toe into that realm and being one of the first people to create a brand website and use a lot of other digital technologies. And then I then chose to specialize my career in agencies that focused on digital pharma for a number of years, because I saw that the opportunity there and the future was there, and I wanted to be on the ground floor of that. So I totally have seen the evolution. And now I believe that, of course, there are advances that are coming, and they're always coming, and people are always trying to use technology to enhance things. But at this point in time, I think that the tried and true digital experiences are still the basic foundation. They are tried, they are true, they are they are improving in and of themselves. And so you don't always have to look for the next gadget, and you certainly don't have to, um, not everyone can be the company that gloms onto a new idea to be the first one to use it. I have never been one to try something because it's new. My philosophy always is, will it help me do what I have to do? Will my audience relate to it? If my audience is an audience of people who want to experience new technology, well, then sure, I'm going to jump onto it. But if, when you look at healthcare professionals, especially my surgeons, they are people. This COVID thing, is hard for them um, to acclimate to the visual digital world. I know most of them are chomping at the bit to be back in person. I don't
Hmm.
think digital is going to go away in their life, but I don't think that they're going to shift away from wanting in person. And
Maybe doing a
so,
whole bunch of video chats like this to replace the the sales rep and the good old fashioned personal interaction. So we're looking at digital being an important tool within customer experience, but in your particular case, they probably will never replace the human interaction.
I agree. And so, to your other point of how does it work, they are separate. I think digital and customer experience are separate, but they can't be separated, right?
Hmm.
They are individual elements that need to combine in one holistic approach to, this is my customer, what are all the ways to reach him or her in a way that they will respond or simply be exposed to, right? Every media has its own objective. Some are to expose, some are to motivate action. So that's what we do. We craft surround sound experiences. So everywhere that you turn, that Sysview is a viable product. Photocure is a real company, because the converse is true. If you're not seen,
You
then
don't
are you
exist.
real?
So
Right?
what's your favorite digital channel right now, or what have you found that's the most effective?
I still love the website. And the reason is, it's the center of everything. Everything digital for sure, but it should be the center of everything offline as well, because um, it is some place where you can architect experiences to deliver the results that you want. It's just, I was thinking about it, and I realized that it's such an oxymoron, because a website has to be everything to everybody, but it still has to be a personal, relevant experience to a visitor.
And it also has to fulfill the business objective as
Exactly.
at the end of the day. So when you think about that, that's a heavy cross to bear for a website to
It
be
is.
able to do all of those things. Um, so in your opinion, what's next for customer experience in your particular market? Obviously, there's particularities to the way that you are operating and interacting with your customers. What do you think's next? Where are you going with that?
Well, I think it's just more refining of the same traditional stuff, but always being aware. I'm always listening to vendors, to see who might become a partner. They know their business, they know what's out there. I want to know the new ideas, but I'm not going to try it just because it's new. It has to work for me. It has to fit into my objectives. There's been a number of times in my career where I have reshaped what a vendor has presented to me to say, well, if it could do this, this, and this, then it would work for me. And they've changed their product for me, and we've invented a new iteration. So I don't take it at, hey, that's a great idea. Can it do this? And that's how I work. It's not just like, oh yeah, I want that, let's buy it.
Well, be prepared for a whole bunch of vendor calls after we post this. So
Hey, if you got something smart, I'm happy to hear it. Happy to hear it.
awesome. So if you just turn around to the side there, I see that you have a Frozen 2 poster on the wall.
So awful. I told you.
Um,
Yes.
some would argue that Frozen 2 fell a little short of the original. That would be my 9-year-old daughter, but I think that she was at a different point in her life at that time, and maybe it didn't resonate with her. What are your thoughts?
I did enjoy both of them, but I agree. A sequel's tough because the first one is new,
Hmm.
right? So the newness of the discovery of all of these new elements is what makes a first a premier, version always or most times more exciting. It did like that it answered a lot of questions and gave you some background. So usually that's what it is, right? They excite you with the first one, they answer some questions with the second one, and then hopefully they come in with a third one that gives you a little more excitement and brings it all together. So maybe we'll have that third exciting one.
Yes, which is where Game of Thrones fell a little short in the
Oh my
final
God.
episode,
It,
so they could
it's
learn
so good.
something from the Frozen milieu, if you will.
Exactly.
JoEllyn, will we see you in September at the Panagora Pharma Customer Experience Summit?
I will put it on my calendar and pray that I'm not traveling. I hope
Okay.
to be there.
Well, hey, it's all virtual now, so you can log in from anywhere and participate. So we look forward to sharing more of your perspectives at the conference in September. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Seth. I appreciate it.